Hi guys, thanks for joining us on today's video where we're going to be unboxing and setting up the Epson ET-2650 sublimation printer with Epic ink. So you can see here we've got the printer already on the side, so I'm just going to grab some scissors. So we're just going to cut the box open here. Just be careful that you don't go too deep because you can cut the paper or your installation CD that's on the top. You'd have to go really hard, mind, but just be careful. So in your box you've got 100 sheets of sublimation paper if you buy your printer from us. You've also got your sublimation color profile on a disc, which we're going to show you how to set up. You'll also get some basic instructions about filling the ink up and setting your printer up. And then you'll obviously get your driver disc and your instruction manual. So if I just take this first piece of polystyrene away, then you'll see your ink is down that side. So if I pull them out, so you've got 400 milliliters of ink there, 100 milliliters of each color. So you've got your yellow, black, blue and red. So if I take the other bit of polystyrene away, and then you'll see you've got your plug there. So if I just pull the printer up, you've also got a USB cable. If you buy the printer from us, they don't come as standard, but we put one in the box when we sell them. Lots of people set them up by Wi-Fi now, but we still like to be old-fashioned and use the cables. So if I just take this plastic bag off the printer now. So if you're following along setting yours up, I'll try not to go too quick. And we can take our time. So I'm just going to get rid of those out of the way. So you can see there's lots of bits of blue tape on the printer. So they put these on just to keep it stable in transit so that the trays are not opening and things don't get snapped or broken. So you see you've got one under there as well, and some holding the ink tray closed. So if we just start taking these off, peel them off, turn it around, two on the front holding the tray in place, two on the rear holding that tray in place, and then you've got one in the center there that holds a little piece of polystyrene in there to hold the tray in place. So then we just want to lift the front tray up. We've got a small piece of cardboard there we'll get rid of. And then you've got another piece of tape that holds your carriage in place, so just hold it with your fingers as you pull it away, and just be careful and just be gentle when you're pulling that one away, because you don't want to damage the carriage. So you can see they're all off there. I can pull that tray out. Just having a little check. Yeah, all gone from the back and all gone from the other side. So we're good to go. So we're ready to fill our ink up now. So we lift the ink tray up at the side. You'll see we've got black, cyan, magenta and yellow. So I'm just going to grab some tissue and some tweezers here. So the tissue is just in case I spill some ink, I can wipe it up. And the tweezers are to take the foil off the top of the ink because they're foil packed to keep them fresh. So we're going to do it in order. We're going to do black first, cyan, magenta and yellow. So I like to put the ink in order. So we'll put the black and the cyan, then the magenta and the yellow on the end. So if I just take the bung out of the black and then just put it in the little holder at the side there that you see. Unscrew the cap off my black ink and you'll see it's foil sealed. So this keeps the ink fresh. So I'll take that off using my tweezers, and then I'm just going to tip it into my hole. So you can use a little funnel for this. You can make a funnel out of paper, or you can buy them off eBay. but it's easy enough to just tip it in with these printers. You can use a syringe as well, obviously, but it's just easy to tip these in. The hole's big enough. So you can see the ink's filled up there in the container. So just be mindful that it doesn't come shooting out the top. So just do it quite slowly. Then we're going to put our bung back on there. So I'm just going to give the tweezers a little wipe, so I don't want to get any black ink when I'm using them to open the blue one now. So again, foil sealed. I'm going to use my tweezers to just take the foil away. And we go again. So we just want to tip this in nice and steady, just looking from above. It doesn't matter so much if you spill a little bit of ink, because we can wipe it away with the tissue that we've got ready. So you can see that fills up quite quickly. You could see it in the screen there on the side of the tank. So they are very straightforward to fill up, these printers. So I'm just going to put my bung back on. Make sure you put these bungs back on. So you can see the 2 are full there, and we've got 2 to go. So if I take the magenta one off, again, foil sealed, give the tweezers a little wipe, or whatever you're using to take the foil off with. And we go again. So nice and steady, we're going to fill our magenta up now. You can see it going up there on the side. So again, I'm just going to wipe my tweezers. Just going to wipe a little bit of ink around the top there that's came out. So again, foil sealed, we're going to take that off in a second. I'm just going to put my bung back on before I do that. Put it into its little compartment at the side there, out of the way. And away we go again. So you can see it's only taken us a few minutes to fill the 4 inks up. But just take your time, there's no rush. I've filled plenty of these up, and I still spill the ink occasionally. I've spilt a little bit there on that yellow. So I'm just going to use some of this kitchen roll, and I'm just going to break a little bit off. And then I can just press it down the side and just get rid of a little bit of ink that's spilt down the side there. Not too much of a panic. Just put a little bit more in there, just make sure it's all gone. And there you go. So I'm going to put my final bung back on, get rid of this tissue. So you can see they're all full now. You can see in the side there, they're all right up to the max line. So I can close that over now. So we're ready now to sort the leads out and power it on. So I've just grabbed the lead there. So I've got the power lead and I've got the USB cable. So I'm just going to take them out of the packaging. So if you're following along, you'll get those out now. So it comes with a little cable tie thing around it, you've just got to twist off. So if I spin the printer around, I'll show you where the power lead goes. So So in the paper tray at the rear, if you just lift that up, the power cable goes underneath there. So you just press that in nice and firmly. The USB cable goes around the side there. There's a little slot. So I'm just going to plug it in now, even though we don't plug it into the computer straight away. I'm just going to plug it in and just get it ready. We don't plug it into the computer though until we've put our driver disc in and it tells us to plug it into the computer. So if I just drop that at the back and then plug our printer in. And that's us ready. So if I switch it on now, using the power button on the front, so it'll ask you now to set the language. So you'll just select the OK button, set the language, select the OK button again for UK, and then it'll just prepare. It'll say preparing. So this will just take a few minutes. So we won't bother fast forwarding this bit, and you'll see how long it will take. It just takes a couple of minutes. So the ET-2650 printer is a cracking little printer to use. As long as you set it up how we show you in this video, with the settings a little later on in the video, you'll get some fantastic results with this printer. Especially if you're using the correct color profile that's made to match your ink. I can't stress enough how important that is, that you're using the correct ink with a profile that's matched to it. If you're using a profile that's matched to different ink, you just won't get the right results. So it is worth spending a little bit more and getting the correct ink and profile. So you've got your instructions there. So you can see we've done all those first steps. We've filled the ink. So now we're just at the last couple of steps of powering it on and getting it ready. So if I hit the OK button there, like the instruction says, hold it down for 3 seconds. It says there confirm, then I hit the blue button at the side. So now it's initializing. It says do not turn the power off. So we won't switch the power off. So this will take roughly 5, 6, 7 minutes or so to initialize. So we're just going to fast forward some of these clips. So if I just pull the paper tray up at the rear now, and then you've got a little grey thing inside there that holds your paper in place, just push that over. So you'll get your paper now. Try to use good quality paper when you're using sublimation print, because it will tell in the products you're making if you're trying to use cheap paper. It is worthwhile getting decent quality paper. It's only around 9p a sheet, 10p a sheet. So when we're putting our paper in, you can feel one side is slightly glazed and one side's normal paper. So the glazed side must face outwards, because obviously that's the side that we're going to print on. So just push the little grey thing over, and then that will hold your paper in place, and now that's set up and it's ready to use. So I'm just going to get the discs ready that we're going to use. So I'm just going to take the driver disc out of the packaging. So we're going to use that to put the drivers onto our computer. And then we've got our Sublimation color profile disc that we're going to need as well. So that will be installed before we do the drivers. So we'll show you how to do that a little later in the video. So the printer's just initializing still. So we've just fast forwarded that clip slightly. So you can see initializing, do not turn the power off. And this should just about be finished. Like I say, this will take around 7 minutes or so when you're doing it. So there you see it's complete. So I've just put that over by our computer now so we can finish the setup. So I've got my Sublimation profile disc there. So I'm just going to open my CD tray. If you don't have a CD tray, you can download this from the Epson website. It's pretty straightforward. Sorry, that was the driver disc I was talking about on the Epson website, not the color profile disc. I'm getting ahead of myself. So you'll put the profile disc in, and it'll come up like this on the screen. It'll auto load. So you just want to hover over your color profile, right click, and then install profile. That's it done. It's done straight away. You don't have to wait for anything. It doesn't tell you it's done. So then we will eject our color profile disc, and we'll put our disc in for our Epson drivers. And like I was just saying a moment ago, if you've got a computer without a drive, or you're using a Mac, you can go online and you can download the drivers and all the different extras on the Epson website. It's pretty straightforward. So when you put this in, it can auto load, but if it doesn't auto load, you can just touch your folder at the bottom there, touch your CD drive, and then just load it yourself there like that. So you just want to keep hitting next here basically. It'll take you through lots of steps here that we're not going to bore you with, but you just keep hitting next. It'll then bring you to this page where it's asking you if you want to set it up via Wi-Fi or you want to set it up via USB cable. So we like to set them up via USB cable just because it's more reliable. So if you hit next there and select USB cable and then select next, this is when we plug our printer into our computer. So we don't do it before this. Then you'll see it's came up there, it's found the printer. So it will finish installing now, and then you just hit next. So now I've pulled this over here, I'm just going to pull the paper tray back up and put the paper back in. Make sure it's nice and secure. So we use Photoshop Elements. So I'm just going to open that program up, and I'll show you how to set things up within Photoshop Elements. If you've got a different program, it will be pretty similar. So if I just go to open, and I just open something up, so we'll open this colorful image up. I like to do this when I'm doing a test print to see how the colors come out. So if I just grab the text tool on the left there like I just have, and I just write a word, so I'm going to write hello here, and then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to make that black, because you can see I've got loads of colors on the screen: blues, reds, greens, yellows, bits of orange, etc. But I want to just test the black as well. So I'm just going to write hello there. I'm going to make it black, and I'm going to make it a font that's a little bit more bold than that, so we see a little bit more black. That's better. That's it. So if I just plop that around the center there, and then select file and then print. So I'm just going to show you the settings now. So when you're setting your printer up, you can see I'm just going to change that to actual size there, so it's the right size. But I'm going to select more options on the bottom here. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to change it to mirror image, because when I'm printing in Sublimation, everything's going to need to be mirrored, excluding glass and dark transfer paper. So I like to just set it to mirror. So if I select mirror there and then select OK, you can see it's now mirrored. So if I go back into more options and go to color management on the left there, so we want to change the top one from the printer managing it to Photoshop Elements managing the colors. And then the next box down, we just want to select the profile that we've put on there just. So we can go down to it, and you can see there's our profile that we've just put into the computer. So I'm going to select that one. And then relative colorimetric is what we leave it on. You've got 4 different options there, but it was already on the correct one. Then we select OK. So you can see we've got our design there. It's ready to print out. So I'm just going to select print. So I'm going to show you now what will happen if you don't set the printer up correctly. So it's just going to shoot this paper out really quick. This isn't fast forwarded. This is in real time, so it just shoots this out in a few seconds and it doesn't put enough ink down on the paper. So what it gives us a dull print, and it gives us a print that's not going to look great when we put it onto our mug. It's not going to look like it does on the screen. It's just going to be faded. It's going to look like it's gone through the wash a lot of times. So I'm going to show you how we set our printer up now. So if you go to the bottom and just type control panel in that white box if you're on Windows 10, if not, get to it however you do on your system. So I'm just going to go to my control panel. I'm just going to select devices and printers there, and then I'm going to go over to my Epson 2650, right click on the printer and then select printing preferences. So I'm just going to change the paper type to Epson matte, and then the quality to high. This will slow the printer down and it will give us a much better quality print. So I'm going to go to the top there and select that one, and then I'm just going to select here, and then I'm just going to select no color correction, and then select OK. And I like to switch the high speed off as well, just because we don't need it to be high speed. And then that's our printer set up correctly. So if we go back now and we print this design out, now the printer is set up correctly, it will give us much better results. I just wanted to show you the difference when it prints out, which you'll see now. You'll see there's a massive difference in the colors. So we follow those steps again, file, print, we go back, we make sure it's actual size in box 5 there. It's already mirrored because we've set it to mirror, it will remember that. And then we just select print again. So this is now going to print this out. This would usually take around 3 minutes. So we fast forwarded this clip just to save a little time. So you'll see we just switched the fast forward on there. You can see it's feeding the paper through quite quickly. Like I say, this would usually take around 3 minutes to print this out on this setting. But you'll see the quality difference. So you can see already it's much more vibrant. It will never look like it does on the screen on the paper with sublimation printing, like you'll already know. It always looks a little more dull on the paper. So you can see the difference there in the top one and the bottom one. You can see the vibrancy of the colors. You can see how much darker the black is on our new print, and it's just much more vibrant. You can see that's grainy and dull on the top. And the bottom one's lovely and vibrant, especially the reds there. You can see very grainy. You can see the red there is much more vibrant, so it's going to look fantastic when we put it onto a mug. So if I just show you these two bits of paper again, so you'll see very grainy here compared to that blue there, and the black is a little grey, and this one's very black. You can see the difference with the reds, again very grainy over here, and these ones are lovely and vibrant and they look great. So a great print and a not so great print. So that's this video over, guys. So thanks for watching the video on the setup of the Epson 2650 printer. Hopefully it's been helpful for you, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye bye. Please don't forget, guys, that if you haven't bought your printing equipment yet, we do sell complete startup packages. So lots of people come to us for help getting started up. We sell to schools, universities, martial arts academies, people working from home. And they come to us because they get something like what you see on the screen here, a full startup package. So they get all of the equipment that you see there. What they'll also get is they'll get their training and their after sales support. So you'll see there, you'll get your equipment, your training and your after sales support from us. You'll also get, if you come and visit us for your training, a free cup of tea and a chocolate biscuit. How's that? Please give us a like on social media, guys, Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. And please like this video and subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can also go to our website, which is www.starttoprint.co.uk. You'll see it on the screen there. Thanks a lot for watching the video, guys. We'll see you on the next one. Bye bye.